everyone, welcome to the 12th episode of skirt pattern making with the Bunka method. Today we are making a mermaid skirt using method C. In this method, the mermaid silhouette is created by cutting the skirt horizontally and attaching a separate piece of fabric for the flare. One of the key benefits of a method C is that you can achieve a similar silhouette to method A and B using a less amount of fabric because the pattern pieces are cut horizontally and don't require as much length on the fabric. We developed this design from the basic straight skirt. I'll bring the straight skirt first and we can start the pattern making. The first step, like every skirt we make, is to adjust the length. You see the length is increased in the diagram, but it depends on you how much you wanna increase the length of your skirt. I'm planning to increase it by 36.5 centimeters, make it a very maxi length. Total skirt length will be 109 centimeters at center front line. Then I adjust my seam and check my length on avatar to make sure this is the length I like. Then I move the closure on my waistband to the side seam because I don't want to have a center front and center back seam on my design, so I prefer to have the closure on the side seam. And it's very easy, just draw an internal line on the side seam on your waistband and then cut it and bring that part and join together at center back. Just put a notch on your center back because you need it when you want to sew the skirt. I delete one front and one back panel because we need to do pattern making only on half. Next step is to determine the position of the horizontal cut. First I convert my hip lines back to internal lines and then I offset this line 32 centimeters below. I think this is a good position. This is the same position that is recommended by the book. You can check it. It's around the knee level. You can turn on internal line in your 3D window and see the position. It's right above the knee, which is a good position for the mermaid shape. Next, I right click on these lines that I created on front and back and cut and sew. And I will name the pieces because they look very similar. I want to make sure that I know which one is front and which one is the back bottom. Now for creating the flare, right click on the upper edge and split the line to 4 equal parts. Do the same process for the bottom line as well. This line should be cut and opened up at the bottom. The numbers you see in the small circles is the amount which the line is opened at hem. This also depends on your design. It is mentioned 8 centimeters in the diagram, but since I need a more flare in my design, I want to add 20 centimeters for the middle points and 10 centimeters at the center front line and center back line. The tool you can use for slashing and opening your pattern is the fullness point tool or fullness line tool. For the middle points, I found it easier to use the fullness point tool. As you see, I'm picking the tool here. Click on the first point, then second point, then I pick the side I want to move, and when the box appears, I just put the number, the amount I want to open. But for the center front and center back, this tool doesn't work. That's why I'm using the fullness line tool. And as you remember, last time we mentioned, with this tool always you need to pick the pattern outline. You cannot pick an internal line. So you just click on the first and second point of fullness line, then on the slash line, and you just give the amount to the second row because you don't want to open up at upper edge. You just want to open the pattern on the bottom. So this pattern is all created. It's just rotated in a way that we don't want. The way I recommend fixing the grain line is that first make it aligned with center front line. This way you can rotate it like how it is in the diagram. rotate it so that it's parallel to the center front line. Then smooth out the waist or upper edge with the smooth curvature tool and the bottom hemline, so that the edges or the corners at center front has 90-degree angle. As you see, I'm adjusting the center front corners to have 90-degree as much as possible, and I don't want to lose length of my skirt, so I'm just smoothing out as you see in the video. Okay, now that I'm happy with my seam lines, I want to double check my grain line. As you see in the diagram, it has bias direction, so I can click on my grain line with edit texture tool and just rotate it 45-degree. This will help having a similar grain line as our diagram. Okay, now that I'm done with the front panels, I can right click on center front line on upper front and bottom front and create mirror piece with sewing. Okay, now that we have done the front parts, we can do the same process for the back. Process is exactly same, so you can follow the video and do the same process for the back. Another method for adjusting your grain line is that after you smooth out your hemline and your horizontal cut line, you can find the middle of these two lines, draw an internal line between these 2 points, and then pick your grain line with edit texture tool and make it parallel with this internal line. That's what I have done for the bottom back piece, which gives a very similar result as the way we did for the front bottom panel. Okay, our pattern pieces are ready. We can start arranging pieces around our avatar and start sewing. I just removed the sewings first because I wanna freeze the bottom parts first and sew the top part of our skirt first. Always make sure you are freezing the pieces that you don't sew so that they don't fall out. Okay, as you see, some seams are missing. I'm sewing the waistband to upper edge of our skirt. Now I unfreeze the bottom parts and start sewing the horizontal cut lines from bottom of the front to lower edge of my skirts. And then I can use the superimpose side function, which will take these to the right position. And the last part is sewing the side seam on bottom panels. Okay, our skirt is ready. For the fabric, I have chosen a satin fabric I found in Clo Library, and she can wear it with a top we had made before. Then we can add the color. So for the texture of this fabric, I wanted to have a more stiff look like this image. So I have changed the physical property of the fabric in the property editor to have a drape like a leather fabric. So you can do that too. just go to the property editor, choose the fabric, go to property editor, and here in the preset of physical property, choose animal leather or animal alternative leather, which will give you the drape of a leather fabric, but the texture of the fabric is not like leather, it's like satin fabric. So that was the skirt done based on a Bunka method. To create a more mermaid shape silhouette, it is possible to reduce the skirt width at the horizontal cut, as I'm doing right now. I'm reducing 2 centimeters of the width of my front panel and the back panel on the horizontal cut. But just make sure you are adjusting the bottom part as well. Cut 2 centimeters or whatever amount you are taking in at the horizontal cut from the bottom pattern as well. Just remove the 2 cm from the sides and make sure your sewing is also adjusted. As you see, we have a more mermaid shape. The silhouette is narrower at the knee. Okay, our pattern making is almost done. I'm just smoothing out seams and overall fit looks good. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. We have finished creating mermaid skirts, and I have talked about all 3 methods. In the next tutorial, we'll create a peg top skirt. Thank you everyone for watching, and see you next Saturday.